plans are probably nearly always thorny, and one at Whalley Village has been a raging issue between residents there. The co-op applied for permission to build 80 new houses on the land just off Riddle Lane, but residents protested hard against the idea, saying it would cause overcrowding and ruin green land. Well, last night the Ribble Valley's Planning Committee met at the council chambers in Clitheroe and decided to vote against the proposals. BBC Radio Lancashire's Rajiv Gupta spoke to a very happy Mike Harbour, part of the Save the Whalley Village campaign, after the results.
I'm glad that common sense has prevailed and that the councillors have seen that Whalley cannot sustain any more development without a real addressing of the infrastructure issues that we have in the village. So I'm just relieved and, of course, very, very happy.
It seemed to go right in your favour. I think the vote at the end was 9-2. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a harder fight. I think that, like I say, the councillors saw through to some of the key issues here, which were not really addressed in the Co-op's application, and I don't think they were really addressed satisfactorily in the officer's report. And I'm glad that the councillors saw through to the heart of the matter.
Is this a victory for NIMBYism?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, the people of Whalley have put up with an awful lot of developments over the last 20 years, as the councillors themselves said. You know, we've had hundreds and hundreds of new houses in the village, so I think we've done our bit, to be honest. And, of course, Whalley's a medieval village. I mean, its infrastructure is not designed for such large developments. And there comes a point when you have to say enough is enough.
You say that, but a number of the experts and professionals, they actually said the infrastructure was good enough to sustain this development. The councillors disagreed. It just seems that you always had it on your side with the councillors today. They were more scared of the locals' reaction rather than the actual the planning reasons.
I can't say what the councillors' motives are. I think they do very well understand the local issues, and several of the some of the councillors live in Whalley. Others will know it very well. So if they thought that we were just sort of making this stuff up, then they would have seen right through it. You know, the fact is that they understand, as the residents understand, that these issues do exist and are a serious problem.
Well, listening to that was Councillor Richard Sherris, Chair of the Council's Planning Committee. Thanks for joining us this morning. So, were the councillors scared of the local residents' reactions when they made their decision last night?
No, I don't think that's that's the case at all. The councillors at the end of the Planning Committee, at the end of the day, have to make decisions regardless of what representations are made to them or to take account of them. They've got to come to a decision based on planning grounds, which is what we did.
Why turn it down then? You say planning grounds because your officers had approved it.
Yeah, I think the main issue was that whereas you already mentioned the professionals' reports and what have you, and they were all very comprehensive and what have you, I think, and this is my interpretation, obviously, I can't speak for all the councillors, but my interpretation was that councillors weren't convinced that steps had been put in place to actually alleviate some of the problems. Right,
so the co-op can now appeal.
That's right.
Which would go to a planning inspector rather than the councillors.
That's right.
Now, the inspector's likely to approve this plan, isn't he?
I wouldn't like to speculate on that at all. Right. I mean, the planning inspectors are independent people appointed by the Secretary of State, and they come to their own decisions.
Doesn't Ribble Valley need new housing, though? Well, affordable housing?
They do need affordable housing, yes.
And they need to go somewhere?
That's correct. What we've got to do is balance all the issues that came up at the meeting last night about various areas, but as you say, they've got to go somewhere. I mean, this is something that the planning inspector will take into account.
Do you think that this maybe was a little bit of case of NIMBYs? Not here? Not in my backyard?
Well, I don't think I'd like to comment on that. I did make some comments at the meeting, as you know, but about some of the representations we had, but no, I don't want to comment on that.
Do you think we'll maybe see a future with drawn-out arguments like this?
I'm sorry, could you just repeat that?
Did you think we will see a future of drawn-out arguments like this?
Well, I think that's a possibility. I mean, we've had lots of representations. Well, we don't want them in Whalley, but we want houses in Ribble Valley, put them somewhere else. Well, that's okay, but then the planning committee has got to deal with people who live in the area where other people say the houses should go, not in their area. So, yeah, it's not easy. It's very difficult. They have to take very difficult decisions.
OK, Richard, thanks for joining us today. Councillor Richard Sherris, Chair of the Council's Planning Committee. We'll hear